Hi there, I'm Ange, the CEO of Footprint. Welcome to the first of our Learning Lab videos. Any good financial literacy program should include a topic that covers assets and estates. So that's where we're starting today. In simple terms, an asset is an item of property held by a person or company that has some monetary value. This includes personal assets like KiwiSaver and any life insurance provided by your employer, called group life insurance. Personal assets are assets that are owned in your own name only. Joint assets, not to be confused with elbows and knees, are assets you own with another person or people. When you pass away, all your personal assets, like any savings in your bank account, KiwiSaver and group life insurance, are frozen and unavailable to anyone until your estate has been administered. Joint assets, like a joint bank account, are not frozen and remain accessible to the other person or people that own that asset with you. These sorts of assets will end up being transferred to the other asset owner or owners after you're gone, unless you purposely set up the ownership in a specific way. An important thing to remember is, if you have personal insurance, not group, and want those funds to be immediately available to someone upon your passing, then who owns the policy really matters. So we recommend you talk to a good financial advisor about what you would like to achieve with your insurance policy. Now, let's talk estates. There are really only three things to know about estates. First, your estate is the total accumulation of all your personal, not joint, assets. Secondly, if you have an estate that is valued at $15,000 or more, it crosses a legal threshold and is going to need a will, probate, and estate administration. Finally, an estate valued at less than $15,000 doesn't need to go through the same process, and your next of kin can sort things out themselves. So that's the basics. We'll talk more about estate administration in a later Learning Lab video. To recap, a personal asset is held in your name only. A joint asset is held in your name with another person or people. Assets can be owned in different ways. Any personal assets are frozen after you pass away, unlike joint assets. Your estate is made up of all your personal assets. Any estate worth $15,000 or more needs to have a will, probate, and estate administration. And one final tip about overseas assets. If you have significant overseas assets, then we suggest you make your New Zealand will for your New Zealand assets only. Dealing with assets in other countries can be very time-consuming and expensive. Because you can have multiple valid wills in more than one country, it makes good sense to make a will for each specific country where you have those assets. And there you have it. Step one on the journey to ensuring your family is looked after, even if you're no longer around to do it yourself. I look forward to seeing you again in Learning Lab 2, where we talk about wills. Thank you for listening and see you soon.